details. Melissa.
Gearing up for potential legal battles with the president-elect, California lawmakers hiring former Attorney General Eric Holder to represent them in any legal fights with the Trump administration, such as immigration and criminal justice reform. Here now is Sabrina Schaefer of the Independent Women's Forum, Julie Roggency, former political advisor to Senator Frank Lautenberg. She is also a Fox News contributor. Sabrina, I will start with you. What do you think of this move?
Well, I don't think it's terribly surprising. Look, California is a state that voted for Hillary Clinton by 4 million votes. They know that there is a lot at stake when it comes to issues like environmental regulations and climate change, immigration, criminal justice reform. And I think that they are very much saying, hey, you know, we're going to pull out sort of the heavyweights here. And they very much are with former Attorney General Eric Holder at the helm. So I don't think it's surprising. I'm not sure that they will have as many battles to fight as I think they will, though.
Julie, you know, when I hear about the state of California making this hire to battle the federal government, all I see is tax dollars fighting tax dollars. It makes me very sad.
Well, I'm sure the state of California does not want to spend this kind of money, but I echo everything Sabrina said. When the state, and we keep talking about states' rights all the time, it's a phrase Republicans and conservatives like to use a lot. You know, if the state of California has its priorities, and the federal government has its priorities, obviously where federal law supersedes, but places where states are able to act in their own interest, I think this is an example of where they're going to try to act in their own interest.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. All right, a push to keep Trump away from 2020. Several blue state lawmakers are proposing a bill that requires presidential candidates to release their tax returns in order to appear on the ballot in that state, which critics are calling a direct jab at the president-elect and his refusal to make his tax records public. Sabrina, this is an interesting one to me because let the people vote. You know, I mean, he didn't release his tax returns, and that was certainly made a big issue, and it made a lot of people uncomfortable. So it's almost, I mean, it seems almost counterintuitive to force them to do it. You take away that as an issue that you could beat Trump with, the idea that he didn't release his tax returns. No?
Yeah, look, no, yeah. I think this is a fever dream of the left. I think that, you know, where does this stop, right? Do we say you must release your tax return? How about your health records? How about your grades from high school or college? The reality is that states all have different, you know, rules that are put in place for the ballot process. We can't necessarily, you know, sort of logistically handle 5,000 candidates, so candidates are expected to have a certain number of signatures by a certain number of dates, things like that. But those are all managerial, administrative, so to speak. This is something very different, and I don't think that this will stand up in a court of law.
Yeah. Julie, you think it would stand up in a court of law?
You know, I'm not a lawyer. I've heard both sides. Some people claim it will, some people claim it won't. I guess they have to pass it and then take it to court if people oppose it. I will say, you know, as somebody who has worked for a ton of candidates over the years, anytime I've had a candidate who's run for Senate or governor, they have released not just their W-2s, but I mean really extensive records to preclude any appearance of a conflict of interest. And I think it's something that's very important for the American people to know about their elected officials. It's transparency, it's disclosure, and so I'd be all for it. In fact, I think you have to do this not if you're running for any federal office. I think that would be a very good policy, not just for president.
Interesting.
Yeah.